It's the worst thing to clean in the bathroom, in my opinion, and it's not the toilet, it's the shower. Today we're looking at how to clean it and sharing some little tricks that you can do to keep it clean so you can deep clean it less often. After decades of cleaning the shower, you would think that I would have it so perfected that I would no longer dread this chore, but that is not the case. However, what I have discovered over the years are some ways to make this chore less awful and some tips along the way for how we can keep it clean with little quick cleans so we are not always having to deep clean this space. Now, if you know, you know, this is my whole thing with cleaning. I don't believe in us spending a ton of time every week cleaning. Instead, we do one good deep clean, maybe once a month, depending on the area, and then we simply maintain it with little quick cleans along the way until we have time to do a more thorough clean down the road. So that's what we're gonna look at today with the shower. We'll give it a good old deep clean. Here's my tips for how to get it good and clean, and then how to just do little quick cleans to maintain it and buy yourself time, but still keep it clean in the process. Everything's gonna be linked in the description below. Let's grab our supplies and let's go. It probably goes without saying that the first step in cleaning our shower is to go ahead and take everything out whenever you're doing a deep clean. Obviously, when we do our quicker cleans, we can keep things in, and I'll show you how I do that. But for the deep clean, take everything out and then grab your cleaner of choice. Obviously, there are so many bathroom cleaners out there on the market. I personally love any that are like a good creamy cleanser. So my favorite is the Pink Stuff's cream cleanser. First of all, this one's really easy to apply. It'll hit the walls and the floor and all over because it's a good one to be able to sort of squirt out. So I love this one. It creates a nice good lather. Or if you want to make your own, because I am all about cleaning with less chemicals whenever we can, this is easily an area where you don't need crazy chemicals. You can make up your own concoction of baking soda and dish soap. I just mix them until it looks like a thin icing, and you sort of want it a little thinner so it's easier to like pour out and apply. But either go that method or buy your favorite from the store that I think a creamy one is best. So maybe go that route. But again, whatever is your favorite, grab that, cover your whole shower with it, and then we're going to scrub it. Now, whichever cleaner you're using, check the instructions on the bottle to see how long it is recommended for it to sit. But I typically let mine sit anywhere from, maybe 15 to 20 minutes. You want to give it some time to do its thing. In the past, I would clean the shower simply with a washcloth, and let me tell you, that just required a lot of scrubbing. I have learned to work smarter, not harder. So my preferred method is some sort of scrubber, especially if your shower is prone to soap, scum, and hard water, because it's gonna save you some elbow grease and help cut through that. So I love either a manual scrubber, like the one I'm showing here. This one comes with two heads. There's a bristle head and then more of a flat one. This is really good if you have maybe tile, because the bristle head can get into the grout lines. I like that it has a handle so it just can easily reach the wall or the floors. You can get into the nooks and crannies, and then that flat pad you can interchange and put that on instead, and that's good for maybe your doors, your walls, the shelving, and so on. So you could do a manual scrubber like that. Or if you want to save even more elbow grease, then grab an electric scrubber, and I'll link some of my favorites in the description below. This is really going to do the work for you, and you just put on your creamy cleanser, and then this will help really lather it up, but it's going to bust through soap, scum, and hard water. And again, they make different versions, some with extendable handles, some that are just handheld. I do like the ones with the longer handle because again, it's less bending over to do the floor. You can reach high areas or the low areas. But a handheld one is nice too for maybe getting the nooks and crannies or up on the shelves, and then you can also use that for the sink, but the one with the handle is also good for the tub too. So, maybe have both, but if you only need one, then maybe do the longer handle one because you can always shorten that down as well. But either way, I love an electric scrubber, and most of them come with several different attachment heads to fit, corners or rounded areas and so on. So if you really want to save the elbow grease, use an electric scrubber. And then if you have a shower curtain, you can go ahead and toss that in the washing machine to clean it, liner and all, and then you can air dry the liner. Don't put that in the dryer, but then the actual curtain can probably go in the dryer. And then for glass shower doors, my favorite cleaners are either Scrub Daddy Power Paste or Barkeeper's Friend. Barkeeper's Friend has a powder, but that would be a mess here, so I would use their cream cleanser. But either one of those works so well. If you have soap, scum, and hard water buildup, they work so well on that. Apply it, let it sit a while, and then, rinse it clean. For a natural method, you could also try vinegar, but if the vinegar doesn't work, then maybe go with the Barkeeper's Friend or the Scrub Daddy Power Paste. And then if you have the black mold and mildew, I know this is a huge pain point a lot of times in showers. Couple things you can do. First of all, if it's in like tile or grout, I love a steamer, like a cleaning steamer, especially ones that'll have like a grout attachment. It works so well typically at removing if there's any like pinkish bacteria or the black mold, but depending on how bad the black mold is, you might need something a little more hardcore than that. So I will link below my favorite mold and mildew remover. This thing I've shared, in videos here before because it works so well, and I had zero hope for it in working when I first tried it, and my jaw was on the floor. I was so impressed. You simply apply it. It's a gel. You apply it, let it sit for a while, like overnight, and then wipe it away the next day, and hopefully it should remove the mold with it. Again, it might depend on how bad it is, but I had major success with it and I love it. So that is 2 options for how you can get rid of the unsightly mold and mildew in your shower. And then obviously, once it's good and clean, now we want to rinse it. If it's a standing shower, you can do the old school method of filling like a bucket or a cup with water and then just pouring it down the sides and repeating that process. That is definitely a little tedious though. So my preferred method on a shower only is or you could do this in a tub version as well, but if you have a tub shower, there you might be able to just get a bucket and fill it with the faucet from the tub and dump it down the walls, whatever your preference is. Either way though, my preference is going to be a handheld sprayer that you can easily attach to your shower head if you don't have one. These just make it so easy to rinse down walls. Now my favorite one is this one that I'm gonna show here in the video, because this is just a regular shower head that you can use, but twist off the shower head part and it becomes a sprayer. You push the button and it sprays like a hose. It's a really good strong stream, and it is perfect for rinsing down all the parts of the shower, the door, the walls, all the nooks and crannies and everything. And then you just pop the head back on it and now you have a shower head again. So that's my favorite option, but obviously they make a ton of sprayer options out there. And then my final step that I do is I take a waffle weave or a tight knit microfiber cloth and I just dry the glass shower doors so that it gets rid of any spots. If you have a squeegee them first, then dry it. And then I dry off the fixtures or maybe, get excess water off the shelving as well. But just to give it a good dry, get the water out of there and remove any water spots. Okay, so we've deep cleaned the shower. It is sparkling, it is thoroughly cleaned. We should pretty much be good to go now for a while, but we're not gonna never clean it. Instead, we are going to do some little quickie cleans that are just sort of habit that we don't even really, doesn't even feel like we're really cleaning. And that is going to help maintain it, keep it clean until you have more energy or motivation or time to do a big, thorough, deep clean again. So here are some of my favorite ways to keep it cleaner longer. First up is gonna be a squeegee if you have glass shower doors. I know this maybe sounds crazy, but squeegee after every single shower. And trust me, it is not bad at all. We do it, it just literally feels like it's just part of what you do, right? Just like you wring out your hair, you dry yourself off, you squeegee the shower. The more things we can make habit when it comes to cleaning our home, the better. Squeegeeing the shower doors is a huge one. It's gonna really cut down, A, on water spots, but B, on the soap scum and hard water from building up. So definitely squeegee if you have glass shower doors. I mean, you could even squeegee the walls if you would like, but I don't, but you could do that. Now, something else I wanna point out for glass shower doors that's really gonna help keep them clean for much longer is a ceramic coating spray. So I love this one, I'll link it in the description below, but all you do with this is you clean the shower door good and well, which we have already done here, and you dry it off. And then you're gonna spray the ceramic coating spray on there, wipe it in with the rag it comes with, and let it dry for 2 hours. It's going to cure, it's gonna be completely see-through, you won't even know it's on there, except it is now going to allow the water to just bead right off of it, which means soap scum and hard water can't stick as easily, which means it's gonna take a lot longer for that to build up on your glass shower doors, and they're gonna stay clean so much longer. So if you really wanna cut down on how often you have to scrub those glass shower doors, apply this. It works so well. Now, they say it lasts like a year. No, you're gonna have to apply it more than that, but it definitely extends the amount of time in between when your doors get super dirty. And then one of my favorite ways to maintain this clean is with a soap dispensing brush. I actually keep one under our bathroom sink because this is also a really good way to quickly clean sink bowls if there's dried toothpaste or makeup or something in there. So you can fill it with dish soap or your favorite cleaner. I would do something creamy. If you do a straight liquid, it's just gonna like pour out. So you want something a little thicker. But take this in the shower with you once a week, and at the end of the shower, this is only gonna take you a couple minutes, but you could easily just quickly, you know, wipe down the walls or maybe the shelves if there's like dried soap or anything, and then the floors, just a real quick little wipe, especially in the corners, since those are the trouble spots that often accumulate the bacteria, the mold and mildew the fastest. And that is gonna buy you so much time. It's gonna keep that shower looking good and clean until you have time to deep clean it again. And then lastly, make sure you're letting that exhaust fan run a decent amount of time to get up the moisture, and that's gonna help prevent the mold and mildew from occurring as quickly. However, you never wanna let the exhaust fan run if you are not home or near the room, because it can be a giant fire hazard, especially if it hasn't been cleaned in a while. If yours needs cleaned, I have an entire video on how to clean the exhaust fan. It's super easy. When I did mine, I was shocked at how dirty it was. So check that video out, make sure it's good and clean, but always make sure you are home if the exhaust fan is running. All right, and that does it again. Everything I showed in this video will be linked in the description below. You can also grab my cleaning checklist and let me know in the comments what area we should do next. I'll show you how to deep clean it and then the little tricks you can do to quickie clean and maintain it until you have time to do more. Hit the thumbs up button if this was helpful and subscribe for even more helpful cleaning tips.